Enrico Piperno, first All-American final this millennium not to feature Williams in the women's draw, but the result was pretty much a Williams type of result. Absolutely one-sided game.
Well, Diggy, I think she played pretty ruthless tennis. The match took an hour. She made 5 unforced errors in that entire match. And it was a total dominance of the strategy that she had put into place before the match started. You could see very from the get-go, she was going to spin her first serves in, try and get a very high percentage of first serves in, and then pretty much run every single ball down, which she did unbelievably well. Madison Keys had to go for bigger and bigger ground strokes, and she started missing quite a bit as the match progressed.
Yes.
So it was an amazing performance by Sloane Stephens. You can't take it away. It was ruthless. It was precise in the sense that every time Madison Keys tried something different, she tried to come to the net. Those passing shots were immaculate. So she did everything expected of any top player. 83 in the world. She played like the #1 player in the world last night in New York.
Yes, the #1 player in the world. All of them have gone out. Sloane Stephens is the last woman standing at the US Open women's singles draw. But Rico, you know, just talking about this amazing story, the build-up to this match was about these two friends who've come back from adversity. And comebacks seems to be the theme of tennis in 2017. You also have the men's singles final coming up. We'll talk about that, Nadal versus Kevin Anderson. But even in this case, you know, the backstories were outstanding. And at the end of it, for one of them to go on and hold a Grand Slam trophy at the beginning of the year, neither of them were playing the Grand Slams. Both Stephens and Madison Keys were out injured. They were off the radar in a sense. Perhaps the only radar they were under was that of the doctor.
Well, Diggy, fairy tales began at the Australian Open in 2017. You had this Williams sisters play each other in the finals and Nadal and Federer play each other in the final. So fairy tale was starting to be written already. Petra Kvitova, after her massive injury with a stabbing incident, has come back and is playing pretty good tennis again. And then look at this. This is another amazing story. This girl had surgery in January. She was ranked 950 odd in the world during Wimbledon. And then she wins a Grand Slam title in September. So fairy tales are being written every single Grand Slam this year. And it's really exciting. The things like this are happening in world tennis.
Yes, perfect advertisement for tennis, especially 2017. It's completely open, isn't it, Rico? But also just talking about a Grand Slam final, Rico, you've been in the corner of Indian players who have played Grand Slam finals. And when it comes down to this, when you have two players no one expected to be at this stage, it comes down to seizing the moment. And it was Stephens who seized the moment last night in New York.
Yes, absolutely. And she seized the moment with great panache, as I may say. And, you know, Madison Keys, she's a really exciting player. You'll be hearing a lot more about her. Unfortunately for her, I think the matchup with Sloane Stephens was not that great because Sloane Stephens gets so many balls back. So what Madison Keys really came under pressure and trying to hit that bigger shot every single rally. And when they started going awry, it all fell apart. So, amazing story, Diggy. And, you know, like I said earlier, the women's tour right now, you cannot pick a winner when a tournament begins, especially at the Grand Slams.
Absolutely.
It is wide open
yes.
since Serena is not playing.
Yes, and at the beginning of this Grand Slam, Rico, any one of the top 9 seeds could have ended up being world #1. You have a new world #1 already. She's not somebody who's won this title. But just reflecting on Sloane Stephens a bit, you know, she started 6 weeks back. She was 967th ranked in the world. Since then, she's come back on the hard courts. Her record is 15-17. You have to go back in history to perhaps someone like a Goran Ivanisevic who won Wimbledon as a wild card for a run like this.
Yeah, it's absolutely scary. If someone told me what were the odds of Sloane Stephens winning the US Open women's singles on the first Monday of the week, I would have probably said 1,000 to 1, Diggy. So, you know, it is that's incredible how women's tennis is set up right now. Without Serena there, and when Serena comes back, whether she can be as dominant as she was before, that's a million-dollar question. But the exciting thing about women's tennis is today that anyone, 132 girls that go into that draw at a Grand Slam has a chance of winning. And that is the most exciting part of women's tennis right now.
Yes, a new champion, a new Grand Slam champion in women's tennis. 4 different champions in 2017.